I'm here today in Lake Oswego's Blue Heron neighborhood. This happens to be one of my favorite neighborhoods in all of Lake Oswego, and I'm going to be doing a neighborhood spotlight as well as show you one of my latest listings located right here waterfront for $3.995 million. The Blue Heron neighborhood is located on the west end of the actual lake and is basically enclosed by both of the canals. On the north side, you have Lake Oswego's main canal, the Oswego Canal, and then on the south side behind me, you have the Blue Heron Canal where my listing is located. Over the past year, there has been 22 pending and sold listings in this neighborhood, so not a whole lot of turnover. And the average price point is roughly $508 per square foot, or about $1.8 million. Now that's on the higher side for Lake Oswego, but that is also because we are located here along the canals. Roughly a third of the homes that sell in this neighborhood are actually waterfront and priced anywhere from 2.2 all the way up to my listing at $4 million. If that sells for $4 million, that will be a record on Lake Oswego's canal. Last year we had the opportunity to sell one for $3.65 million on that same Blue Heron Canal. Why I like this neighborhood is you have a diversity of homes. The original homes were all built in the 1960s, so you have a lot of ranch style ones and even some original rummer houses sprinkled throughout the neighborhood. Now, many of these have turned over and you have developers coming into the neighborhood with newer construction homes. The one behind me sold for 1.7 and change just a couple years ago. And there are a fair number of new listings going into the neighborhood, both on the water and off the water right now that are new construction. Those ones are all priced in the $2.9 to $4 million range. And if you're not buying water frontage here in this neighborhood, whether it's on Key Lock, Cardinal, or Wren, you do have options for water access because many of the homes off the water do have lake easement access. And then pro tip, you'll see behind me the remnants of this year's Halloween. We are in the middle of November right now, but this happens to be one of the best trick-or-treating spots in all of Lake Oswego. But overall, you have a nice, wide, quiet street, sidewalks on both sides, and streetlights, which is super rare in Lake Oswego. I would say because you are surrounded by the canal front homes, it's very aspirational. A lot of young families here are moving into Lake Oswego, want that waterfront access, and the canal frontage is the most affordable way to get a boat on the water immediately. Another great part about this particular neighborhood is you're only about a mile from the nearest restaurant, which is Aji Tram, and maybe about a mile and a half from the actual Boones Ferry corridor with 17 different restaurants, a couple different grocery stores, and all the amenities you could want. And then as for schools in the neighborhood, you're feeding into West Ridge Elementary, which is behind me, as well as Lake Ridge Junior High School, and then of course, Lake Ridge High School. Here we are at probably one of my favorite lake easements on all of the lake. I'm coming in through the gate here. If you buy a property in this particular neighborhood, about half of them have access to this Alder Point easement. There's 3 other easements, including the Lakeview Rec, Blue Heron, and Maple Circle easements. But this one has a nice big grass area behind me, plenty of kayak storage over to the right, nice picnic tables, and even a barbecue. I'm walking out onto the dock right now, which you can swim off of. Over here, you do have a few boat slips, but as you can see behind me, this is my favorite because of this, the view. And so this is really one of those cool amenities that you only get here in Lake Oswego. And I'd say about half of the properties in all of Lake Oswego include the deeded easement access. So make sure to talk to a local professional real estate agent or check in with the Lake Corp when you're evaluating properties, and make sure they do have lake easement rights if that's something that's important to you. And now I want to wrap things up over here on Wren Court. One of the few waterfront properties actually on a cul-de-sac here. Now my clients bought this property a few years back for about $1.7 million. And they did a complete down to the studs remodel on it. They left this original courtyard and the general framework of the house, but they actually went up 1 story and finished it out with one of the top builders and architects in Lake Oswego, and I'm really excited to show you. And stepping into the main area, you see these beautiful vaulted ceilings. All of this was chopped up before, so they blew it all out, went up with the ceilings, makes a big difference. And then the key is it overlooks, I think, one of the best areas on the canal. Stepping out to the covered living space right here, again, vaulted ceilings, and you have 3 heaters, 4 skylights, and a plumbed in fire table from Restoration Hardware. So really nice large deck space right here. and it wraps around for barbecue use. And then the yard here goes down, has a beautiful paver patio, brand new cable fencing all along the perimeter as well as up here on the deck, and one of the best boathouses, I swear, in all of Lake Oswego. What makes this spot though very unique on the canal is you are south facing, so great sun exposure here in the backyard. And why I like it is there's actually a fair amount of space between the properties on the other side of the canal. If you go further down this canal, it gets very tight and claustrophobic and you're looking right into your neighbor's yard. So having that extra space for privacy is really, really key. Right here, you are just about 2 minutes away from the main lake via boat. So really nice and accessible to the main lake for all the water sports if you want to boat to town or anything like that. Then stepping in through that La Cantina folding door, you do have one of the nicest kitchens I've had the privilege of representing in a long time. Not only do you have this expansive island, beautiful light fixtures, but you have 2 sinks, all waterworks plumbing fixtures throughout the house, making it feel really high end because it is. And then if you come over here, you have a 48-inch Wolf range, beautiful hood, pot filler on the back, really creative space right here with the outlets and the shelving right there. And then coming over here, you have another oven built into the island as well as the microwave. Of course, you have 2 dishwashers. Here's that second sink and a beautiful Sub-Zero built in right here. And overall, I will keep this tour pretty brief as we featured this home in our Tuesday tour videos. If you want to see that video, we're going to link it up here in the corner. But I'm just going to give you an overview of the layout because I do think it is really unique for waterfront property. The width of this lot is very rare. You have 115 feet of water frontage behind me, which allows you to really expand the footprint. And you have behind that wall a full primary suite on the main. In addition to that, you do have another bedroom guest suite right here. And to round out the house, of course, you have that upstairs where they added an extra office space adjacent to a small little intimate living area with bar, fireplace, and TV. There's also a full bedroom right there with bath. And then it also has a basement. It's the original daylight basement of this house with a nice big expansive play area, entertainment zone, plus workout room, bunk room, and of course a bath. And that wraps up the neighborhood spotlight on Lake Oswego's Blue Heron neighborhood. I think it's clear to see why this is one of the most underrated neighborhoods in all of Lake Oswego. So if you have any questions about this neighborhood or any other, or even my listing right here, don't hesitate to reach out. Happy to be your real estate resource here for Lake Oswego.